Hopefully, Hopefully, Make a Path presents. Welcome. I fucked that up so bad, so bad. Do I have everything set up? It looks like it. Possibly. Doesn't even look like it's even connecting. Oh, jeez, this is gonna be terrible. Let's see what the problem is. Why do I have captions? Can you guys hear me all right? See me all right? We're having some issues here. I think it's because of the weather. And not just like, it's stupid. Not just the weather, but because everything's connected in the complex. Because of the weather, there's more people home. There's no school tomorrow, shit like that. Everybody in this area is using their internet. From what they tell me, that's going to cause a lot of problems. So, you guys let me know. You can hear me good, see me good? You might be off tonight. It's going to be a lot shorter tonight than normal. It's probably only going to be like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. Having the family stuff going on this week, so we're running a little short. Someone said that episode was pretty good. I do want to have a little chat. We could talk about The Walking Dead, absolutely. I always love talking about The Walking Dead, but I am kind of curious going into 2019. Once in a while, I just like to have a little chat with you guys, get some opinions and stuff, because I do want to do some things a little bit different heading into 2019. Like I said, I've already been planning and prepping, holding off on some things so that way when 2019 comes, we can get going with multiple channels. You know, you have my daughter's channel with one fun video every week, and then the Ronnie Hayes channel with a lot of gameplay on there, and then a lot of the raw videos, and then the more polished videos on Make a Path Presents. More of, yeah, it looks like we're doing pretty good. I'll keep an eye on the stream health. But if you guys have any questions about anything, it could be Walking Dead related or anything as a whole. And like I said, one of the main topics is I'm just curious about thoughts and opinions about content wise. It could be anything. Stuff that we've talked about, stuff that I've never talked about, stuff that I've never done that you guys are interested in. I'm kind of just curious what you watch as well on YouTube. Just like friends chit-chatting, that kind of thing. Avengers 4 trailer thoughts. If you haven't seen it, how about do a reaction and first thoughts? I already know from a couple friends of mine who have YouTube channels that, is it Disney? They're going nuts with the copyrights. I just got hit actually 5 minutes ago from the Spider-Man 2 gameplays. I only did a couple of those. Remember, I did a couple of those. I think the first one got hit, and then now I just got 2 copyrights back to back. I'm glad I stopped that, because that's a whole mess. I don't even know what we're going to do in the future with copyrights. It doesn't even make sense. Everyone else is putting up gameplays, and I put music underneath it, my own music, that there should be no way. I don't know. The Last of Us ones, they'll be finished in 2019, way ahead of The Last of Us 2. We only got a little bit more. I do want to do more Last of Us videos that are different than just gameplays, though. And I have a couple that are scripted that we will definitely do before. I didn't know Last of Us 2 would take so long to come out, because honestly, I thought they were working on it in secret. I'll be honest. And I thought they were going to hit us with some shocker, but no. And correction, I didn't just think that. There was a couple clues, and they were in fact working on it in secret for a year and a half. However, they were only working on the teaser trailer. I didn't know that. I thought they were working on the whole project, and they were in deep. But yeah, back to the Avengers trailer. I did like it. It didn't blow me away, though. But I'm happy that it didn't reveal too much. So I'm good with that. As a matter of fact, on Black Friday, I didn't buy much. I don't think I bought anything. But I did buy this. The Avengers Infinity War. It was $6. This shit is always like $30 or some shit like that, or $20 on Blu-ray. But $6, I got it on Amazon. It took forever to ship. I don't know why, but yeah, it's legit and it's awesome. I can't wait to watch it again. I already seen it once, but it's just the Avengers: Infinity War standard Blu-ray, and I really enjoyed this movie. I'm not big on the Marvel movies, but I really enjoyed that movie. And shit, yeah. The trailer for the new one, though, like I said, it didn't wow me. But at the same time, I'm going to watch it day one no matter what. I have all the faith in the world that it's going to be at least entertainable, you know? Why is Fear's budget so low? The writing is horrible as well. Special effects are crap as well. Why didn't AMC put more money into Fear if they would have focused on the outbreak for more than 3 episodes? I could only speculate. But if you look at what everyone says in all the interviews, and I want to clarify, a lot of my opinions, I try to base them on people who know what they're talking about, who are in the industry, and you hear what they say about AMC and what they're doing. And The Walking Dead's budget is ridiculously under budgeted for what it is and for the powerhouse that it is. Now, there's a lot of opinions about why, but I think it's obvious. The AMC utilized The Walking Dead to build AMC's brand and maintain its relevance. I mean, it's simple as that. They want to create original programming, so they're using their moneymaker to fund their whole operation. Plain and simple. So if they can get, how many people watching and still give the budget as a minimal amount of support as possible, they're still making money like crazy. So that's the sole focus. When it comes to Fear, same idea applies. They have, all the faith in the world that a chunk of fans will just watch no matter what, and they give the budget as little as possible. And I do believe that's why we got the story we did get. We all wanted the outbreak, and we didn't quite get that. What else we got? When will AMC sell us Whisper masks to wear? Soon. That should be in the works. If they were smart, they should be pumping those out when The Walking Dead comes back, to be honest. I don't know why marketing with figures and collectibles takes so long. Based on the comic, you own the material, based on the comic, you can start sourcing it out. It might come down to the people making the collectibles and the distributors and stuff, like maybe it's Walmart, let's say Walmart, Target, whoever stocks it, maybe they're, and I'm using those as an example based on companies and yada yada yada. Okay. Maybe they're the ones who say, you know what, we're not ready. We don't know if there's enough there for fans to buy it. We don't want to take the risk. It could be on that level, because I don't know why they don't have some shit on and pop and ready to go. Somebody also mentioned, hold on, I think this is a donation on PayPal and not an order. It might be an order for Doomsday Kingdom. Let me see. From Tiffany. It doesn't look like an order. That looks like... Well, thank you very much, Tiffany, if you had some support. There's no message there. It doesn't look like it's connected to the Doomsday Kingdom account. It looks like it's Map's PayPal account. But thank you very much for that $20 support. I really absolutely appreciate that. A lot of the finances, I'm going to take a real stricter look at finances. That's why certain reviews and stuff are being cut 100% in 2019. We're reviewing Fortnite figures only because McFarlane contacted us and said we're going to send them to you. Other than that, if shit's getting reviewed on the channel, it has to be sent in from the companies, because in 2019 I want to focus more on relocating, number one, with the best internet possible, upgrading the unit here, and then taking care of some stuff like that, like the webcam picture quality, certain shit like that. So I don't want to get into the boring technical stuff, but now Mercury, I think I'm running late on the messages, but Mercury Workshop said do more the Last of Us videos, like news and updates, etc. I might do that. I might definitely do that, just to here and there when stuff comes out, just to really build up people who aren't aware of the channel, because when that game comes out, I know it's not like Red Dead Redemption. I played that. I had the gameplay, but it's on that hard drive, but I just don't know if I could make that fun for a gameplay. We might try some once I build up my town and stuff, and because going into it, I don't know. I just don't know if I can carry that. But with The Last of Us, that's a no-brainer. Like, that is getting attention on the channel. I promised that with Overkill's The Walking Dead, but I had to back out of that because it just did not look fun and interesting. And, yeah, that's a no-go. I'm noping out of that. Even if they sent a review copy, I just wouldn't be interested in utilizing my time to cover that. As far as what are your thoughts on Fear the Walking Dead going forward, and will it mingle with The Walking Dead? When it comes to Fear the Walking Dead, it looks like they're making a clear separation. If they wanted to merge with The Walking Dead, first off, it doesn't make any sense if business-wise, like if I was a shareholder or somebody, however that works, if I was one of the people that they had to answer to, I would be like, why would you merge them? That makes no sense business-wise. Unless they see something I don't where they can merge them and they can still keep them separate in some degree. Like I said, keep them close but not too close. And then that way people can intertwine between different episodes. But merging them, it just doesn't make any sense money-wise. Just like trimming episodes doesn't make any sense money-wise. The less episodes you have, the less money you make. Plain and simple. Hope the fam is okay. I'd love to see those Outlast streams come back. I'm gonna stop promising anything. I would like to finish out that one Outlast for sure. I don't want to play the whole series. I already know that. I'd like to look around and move on to other things because I thought eventually it would get a little more interactive. I like it and it is creepy as shit. I love that atmospheric shit. Like, fucking love it. But after hours and hours and hours, I gotta be interactive. It has to. I can't just keep hiding from enemies. Outlast is one of those perfect games that it rips into your asshole and scares the shit out of you. You play it for a couple hours and that's the end of that experience. But after a couple hour point, I find myself wanting, like, if there's a part 2 and 3 and 4, I need a gun. I need to be able to fight back. Like, I just can't continue that type of gameplay for long. But I do want to. I do want to finish up the first game that we did play. Why is Fear's budget so low? The writing is horrible as well. I think we covered that already. Let me see. Make a Path Presents so I can see your comments for everyone talking to me specifically. Brian said, to prevent the leaks, why didn't they have Steven and Michael on set after Season 7 premiere? Money. It has to come down to that. It absolutely has to come down to that. Robo, you play Fortnite still? Yeah. I took a month off. And that idea I had, I'm not kidding. Like, I still want to do that. But I think I came up with a better idea where I've noticed since they keep changing the map, there's a lot of people that are like, oh my God, like they missed the earlier seasons. And I got 2 terabytes filled with gameplay from the end of Season 1. I mean, the very end of Season 1, like the last week. Going all throughout seasons 2, 3, 4. I think the only season I stopped is season 6. I finally just had enough. I needed a break, so I took a month off, a month and a half off. I didn't even touch Fortnite. It was just too annoying. So many different stupid things, and I feel like the company doesn't even balance what they do properly. Like, it's so stupid. Like, they just added planes. There's no damage dealt to the person flying the plane if you just kamikaze. It makes no sense. That should be the first thing you think of. You got a plane, people are going to ram it into buildings and build battles. You take damage. That's the consequences for... But no, they don't do shit like that. A lot of really dumb shit they do, and I think they're terrible at balancing, and they really rely heavily on the fan base to actually tell them what to do, which gets a little embarrassing. They do a lot of shit right, but there's a lot of common sense shit that they're just terrible at. Like the storm, they have no idea what they're doing with the storm. The answer is there in front of them, and they still are like beating their head on a wall. I think it's one of those things they just copied it from other games, and they don't even think about it. They're just like, the storm, it does damage, And it's like, no, the point of the storm, you don't want the storm killing people. You want the storm to pull the players together. That's it. You don't want it killing players. That is so... No one dies from the storm and they go, GG, Storm. Fucking GG. You got me, you know? No, fuck no. They're so dumb for having it the way it is. There should be portals where when the storm comes and you want to get out, hit the portal, takes you out of the storm, so that way you can actually play the fucking game, you know? But yeah, Fortnite is going to be on the Ronnie Hayes channel. I've been playing with my cousin since they did the cross-play, and we've been getting a lot of wins, so we got some cool stuff coming up. If they had the same budget as The Walking Dead or higher budget and great writing, great special effects, and good characters on the show, how would have a big hit? It would be a huge hit. AMC only cares about money. That's the thing I don't get it, because if they did it properly and gave the budget it deserved, it would have a bigger audience, hence it would bring in more money. I don't know why they do the bare minimum. And we see this all throughout Hollywood, where it looks like they go for the bare minimum when the biggest budget, like Predator, right? You can give somebody, the right person, a massive budget with Predator. I know The Predator had a bigger budget than it probably should have had, but you could give someone a big budget with that, and they could create a franchise that is insane. Predator fans are fanatics. They are drug addicts for that franchise, and no one's taken advantage of that properly, which doesn't make any sense because you can make a buttload of money. Kyle B. If I ever hit, I became a multi-billionaire, I'd buy the Predator franchise just so they would stop fucking it up, you know? Kyle B. with a $5 dono, thank you very much for that support, says, Beta's conclusion in the comics almost made me give up on the entire series. What the hell was Kirkman thinking? I would love to ask him, in all honesty, and that's one thing, like when I talk to people coming up in 2019 with the interviews that we're going to be putting out, I really want to head in the direction where we ask tough questions. Nobody wants to see me throw softballs at people and be... No, I want to ask. I want to be like Lauren Cohan. How shitty was that you asked for a certain amount of money and they said no? And I know people are going to say no, but it's going to take a while. Like maybe in 10 years, I guarantee she talks about it. I fucking guarantee. Everyone does. After 5 to 10 years, when your ties are severed and you don't need the network like that anymore... People talk like crazy. When you're washed up, you put out a book. You know, when you're not relevant no more in Hollywood, you put out a book spilling all the details. Everyone fucking does it. Now, when it comes to asking Kirkman, I want to be able to sit down. I want this place to interview people where we talk about the hard-hitting questions that fan, and not insult him, not be like, yo, that was fucking stupid. Because you see where his head was in writing certain things, and you see where you needed to get over this hurdle and go into the Commonwealth storyline, which I do disagree on. I think you could have had the Whisperers disappeared and then prop up and just be that annoying thorn that keeps coming up and being this looming threat somewhere out there. It's like a monster in the woods. The Whisperers are out there somewhere. Every time you send people on patrols, you know they're out there somewhere. I think that's fucking chilling. Like, now they got this distance with the Commonwealth. Imagine if the Whisperers, and view them as monsters, not people. Don't view them as man. View them as these monsters, these animals. They're like animals in the wild. When you go out there, you know, there's predators out there, and they're the Whisperers. I don't think they should have been fully killed off because it keeps that looming threat. And in the comic, I think it works great. On the show, I think it will work great too, except for paying the actors, because they're going to be gone for a big portion. So in the comic, it works perfect because it's this lingering threat. In the show, it's not going to be the same because you have to pay the actors. It's real people paying it. Is Dwight going to be in season 9? I think he has to be. I know I don't watch other The Walking Dead YouTubers. For some reason, Ronnie is the only one I can tolerate. Thank you very much. On the flip side, I'm sure there's people saying the opposite. I ain't mad. It's just how the world works. But thank you very, very much for the support. Thoughts on the Avengers Endgame trailer? Endgame. Oh, Endgame. Endgame, yeah. I thought you meant Endgame. I like... it's okay. I like... The trailer didn't do it for me, but I know I'm going to really like it. And I think the next trailer, I'm going to be like, okay, this is okay, you know? I can't put my finger on what it really didn't. It's kind of like remember the Walking Dead trailer where once they got the lineup and they were holding on. Like, we know the superheroes are coming back. We all know it. They're going to show it in the trailer, I feel like. They have to. It's kind of like the Walking Dead trailer where we know a good portion of them survive, but to hide the ones they killed, they show the other people, and the trailer was missing a little something. Still a good trailer, but it was missing a little oomph. I feel the same way with the Avengers. They're not killing off Spider-Man. They're not killing off Black Panther. They're not doing that. So stop playing games. But I don't want them to spoil how they switch it up, even though, there's a purple monster with a fucking time stone. So it doesn't take much thought to realize that could be an option for the storytelling, Are you going to make a comic collection update video? I would love to compare it to mine. I've bought so many over the last year, and my collection is getting extensive. Yes, every January we do a yearly comic collection update. So that'll be coming out in January. Usually the end of January, but it's coming. I think this year it's good that we put it out at the end because it'll likely be 2 parts. I think last year it was just so big now with just The Walking Dead. And I'm going to figure out a neat, better way to display it. Somebody said they already merged because they have the crossover. I think when others say merge, they mean make them into one show, not a crossover. Cody with a $5 dono. Thank you very much for the support, brother. What are your thoughts on walkers immediately turning around in The Walking Dead? I don't like that. With certain situations, like in Fear the Walking Dead when they made the car alarm go nah, 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 and then it stopped and the walker was like, nah, I don't see that. I see the walkers being more lingering more and not, because why did they turn around? No other noise turned them. I think if it's a little more slower, but like I said in the review, I think they do that to keep the audience aware of, oh, they're not going over there, they're not distracted anymore, so now the alligator won't eat the walkers or something. Lori said, my son is going way overboard with Fortnite. Sorry, guys. It's too much. I'm making him cut back. He's seriously addicted and spends way too much time, way too much money on it. Oh, yeah. Kick him in the ass for that. It's not worth the money, especially. If you're not a YouTuber and you're not making money off it, or if you're not a pro gamer making money off it, the suits, it's not worth it at all. Next time your son plays, pick out a suit he bought months ago and ask him how many times he uses it. I guarantee he doesn't, because he thinks it looks really cool and whatever. Now I look at it as, I want them to make more skins because that way I'm shooting different looking enemies. So it's more for suits for me to look at as I'm fighting them, as opposed to suits or skins for me to wear. You know what I mean? Because to be honest, it's cool that you got the skin, but you can't see it most of the fucking time anyway, so it don't matter. Alright. With the communities feuding with each other, it makes the Whisperers easier to infiltrate, right? It makes the Whisperers easy, or it makes it easier for the Whisperers to infiltrate them. I think with them growing in size alone, it makes it. But as far as feuding, absolutely, because they're not spending time with each other every single day over the course of, 6 years. So they're not going to recognize certain people, and those certain people could be Whisperers. So that's for sure going to be a factor that plays into it. Michael Paul with a $5 dono to the channel, but no comment. Thank you very much for that support, brother. Young TY with a $2 dono. Hey, Ron, I'm a rap artist. Can you shout me out? There's your shout out, young TY. Please don't make any corny rap music. Make some good shit for once. And if you're wearing skinny jeans, don't even get me started, bro. Get some baggy pants on and don't rap about dumb shit. Get some deep shit and go at it, because I love the deep shit. I hate that silly shit that gets rapped about nowadays, especially YouTuber rappers. God damn, I just want to suck on a 45 and end it when I hear them rap. Jesus. Have you Have you considered pitching the story of your comic as a show to Netflix or something? No, because they need substance behind it. Even if Netflix was like, bro, if I told them where it goes, you know what I'm saying? Because keep in mind, I'm a massive fan of, and this is a really big hint, I'm a massive fan of sci-fi and horror. Massive fan. And there's a part of this story that embraces a chunk of the horror and a chunk of the sci-fi, and there's even little hints in there. I think there's a big hint that's so tiny no one notices it in issue number 2, and that taps into the sci-fi elements. And coming up, you're going to see some of those hints coming out again a little bit more, and it's this blend between sci-fi that I pull the reins a little bit to make it a little more grounded in reality, and I base it off shit that's already been done and experiments that we're doing and shit like that. So if I pitched the whole idea and I pitched them the hooks and the reveals, and they were like, oh my god, this is like, fuck, if they said that, they still wouldn't buy it. Chances are, because there's no interest for it, there's no fan base built in. Now, if they read it and they were like, yo, and they wanted to take the risk, then they would do it. But that's so rare. It would have to build up a fan base before any show would want to be like, okay, I'm on that. But I definitely have other ideas. That's one movie and stuff like that we're going to try. And I was thinking of recording the process, making a little mini video of putting a script together and getting it out there, just a neat little video, because things are changing so much how people network, and I thought it would be so neat just to have something, or if we go to any meetings or stuff like that, just kind of, I don't know, maybe that's dumb, because I know a lot of stuff I don't want to just, record what people are saying, especially if they don't want to be on camera. So, and deals and stuff, you don't want to record that. Brian Ackham says, Beth stabbing Dawn, Daryl punching Negan still doesn't make any sense to me. Wasn't these Gimple ideas? I don't know specifically. Gimple could have, I don't remember if he wrote that episode or not. I don't remember who comes up with each specific, trait. I'm not sure, to be honest. Sending lots of love. I'll be back on the 16th. Thank you very much, Tanya. I appreciate you. I thought spoilers weren't allowed here, yet people are spoiling Dwight's fate. Yeah, well, that's the comic one. That's almost impossible to avoid. People are going to say it even if we say, let's not do comic spoilers, but it would be nice if people wrote. We've talked about this in the past. There's a lot of people who don't read the comic. Just put comic spoiler right in the beginning of your comic or your comment, and then just put the spoiler. I know there's people who don't want to read it and yada, yada, yada. I can assure you now, it's probably not going to be the same in the show. It's almost definitely not, unless they do a heavy remix, and in such way, it'd be so obvious it wouldn't even matter that you knew anyway. Did the directors for season 2 have in mind of Carol and Daryl relationships, because they hinted at it with the Cherokee Rose episodes and others? I still don't get why they are not shipping it. They're not shipped. Well, they could be. You never know if they're building up to it for something. But yeah, you also have to understand is it's not, when they're putting it together, it's not just that simple. It's not just it's an instant. Everyone gets hooked up. No, they have a more layered relationship, and it's good the way it is. I know a lot of people want it just, I don't know, for different reasons, right? I love how it is now. I mean, they could get together down the line, and I'm sure they can make it work. Yeah, absolutely. But having that relationship they've been having over the course, I mean, it works. It really does. The only difference between them having a relationship and them not is Daryl gets to stick his dick in her. That's the only, that's literally it. And that's one thing I've never understood about relationships. Like, Rick and Michonne being best friends or being a couple, to me, it's the same. Like, that bond, if Michonne's in trouble, Rick is there. He's fucking there. It doesn't matter if he stuck his peen in or not. He is there. Like, that's his chick. Best friend or relationship. Same thing with Daryl and Carol. Like, I don't know what it is. I just don't get what, like, right now there's no way Daryl and Carol get any closer, even if he's laying down the pipe, to me it's just, I don't know. I put so much value in that loyalty and that friendship. Sex doesn't make it any stronger, in my opinion. Loyalty, it's, I don't know. I view that stronger than sex, so I couldn't care less. But as far as why the writers didn't go for it, I don't know. Could be a bunch of different reasons. Yeah, Michonne in the comic did something so stupid. I'm really pissed at her. Any more thoughts on Walking Dead tour? I'm seriously considering buying some tickets. Oh, absolutely. I want to do it for sure. It's tricky though because they end in March. This would probably be something that, if I was talking realistically, I probably wouldn't do it until the second roundup, until the end of 2019, the December to March or something like that. We'll have to look at the scheduling again. But I'm not sure if I would be able to make it work. If anything, it'd be March. You know what I mean? Because there's no way I'm pulling that off in January. But yeah, that's something I'm serious about. Just watched The Predator again 20 minutes ago. Liked it. Not great, but good, dumb fun. There's parts in it I enjoy. I enjoyed enough to buy it on Blu-ray, but the end and how they defeat the Predator and the other Predator, I don't know why they made those decisions. Better, season 7 or 8? They're tie. In my opinion, they're a tie. Yeah, comic spoilers could turn into show spoilers. I agree with that. Any chance us fans can meet up at the filming sites for the tour? Did you get a ticket? Yeah, again, there's no way I can get something that early. There's just no way. Can you fully blame AMC for Fear the Walking Dead suckage, though? Better Call Saul is quite great. I mean, yeah, AMC's in charge of it all. I mean, yeah, they own it. If I own Doomsday Kingdom and I say, okay, let's make a TV show, and I'm like, here, you guys are making the TV show, you best believe they're going to come to me for the script. I can't not see the script. That's insane. That's insanity. AMC's 100%, without a doubt, they are at fault for it being bad, because the moment they brought the script and the ideas and, hey, we're going to do a downfall and a prequel to the Outbreak, but we're not going to actually show the downfall of society, like, that's the first thing they should have been like, whoa, hold on, why? I think AMC had a hand in it. I think they were responsible for it. Bowman's World. Love your energy and wanting to expand the Map brand. I'm an animator and would love to animate your logo or an intro or to help out with a short film. I'll definitely hit me up in Gmail. I would love to see some stuff, and I want to bring in more people to do some projects and shit. And obviously a lot of it would be whatchamacallit. A lot of it would be credited, obviously, and then as the channel expands, I would love to pay people for their work as the channel expands and get into something like that. So Make a Path presents from Dude Guys. I'm so happy that Troy is alive again. Well, we don't know that for sure, or do we? I owe you because a year and a half ago when you first told me to make theory videos, I did that, and now they're exploding. Yeah, see? It's always sometimes some of those older ones will blow up out of nowhere. I like the Season 7 trailer, even though it didn't show Who Survived Lucille. I recently rewatched the trailer and thought it was one of the best ones. I don't remember if I hated it. I remember liking it, but just not being, like, blown away and feeling like something was missing maybe. Why is YouTube doing this? Normally, see this little spinny thing? Normally it does something different, so you can tell there's a lot of questions down there. Now it's not, like, it'll go like this. It'll move like this, so there's like, okay, I know I got a lot of questions to get to. But now it's just staying down here, and that's confusing the shit out of me. It's just staying here. Because it's like, okay, chill.
One with 6 kills.
Oh, you won one.
Solo.
Yeah?
So with 6 kills.
Good job. But did you record it?
Yeah, I did, and I screenshotted the win.
Good. I'll see it.
I'm being Ragnarok right now.
Yeah? Let me check. Vin Valley with a $5 dono. I went to see Anna and the Apocalypse last night, a zombie Christmas musical. Fun movie experience. Have you heard of it? No, I haven't even heard of that. Anna and the Zombie Apocalypse? I haven't even heard of that, bro. I'm going to have to look that up, though. Let's see what we got here. The Fun Brothers. Hey, Ronnie, do you have a favorite episode in Season 9? Probably That's tough. That's a tough one. I mean, I love the Whisper reveal moment. I really like some of the Rick episodes. I dig his final episode. Although there's some stuff that's touch and go, like when I rewatch it. I'm not sure. Because the Whisperer stuff was really good, but then there was stuff with Rick that also was really, really good. I think what drags it down for me is we're not connected to Henry just yet. And if we were, I think I would enjoy that more. But because we weren't, I kind of wanted more of the Whisperers and less of Henry. He got drunk, he got thrown in jail. Do you really need that much to cover it, you know? Howard Huang. Plans for the channel for 2019, question mark. Yeah, as far as what you guys know, I don't know if you heard it a minute ago, but the plan is to keep more of the polished videos. And then the Sunday live stream, that's not going to be polished, but we're going to continue to do that every Sunday. But more of the polished videos on Make a Path Presents, more of the raw videos on Ronnie Hayes, and then Ronnie Hayes will be a lot of the gameplay videos that just get pumped out there. We have a shit ton of Fortnite ones coming out. And I don't want those flooding Make a Path Presents, because then what ends up happening is, for some reason, people just miss the polished videos. And then I get so many people going, where's that Rick video? Where's that Rick video? And I'm messaging them. I said, I posted it last week. And they were like, all I see is Fortnite. I've had that happen. You know, I posted only 2 Fortnite videos back to back. I had 3 Walking Dead videos before that. And I get people saying, all I see are Fortnite videos. I don't know how you're looking. I click on the channel name, not just me when I'm watching YouTube. If I'm watching Mr. H Reviews, I click on his channel name, bang, and then I scroll through the list. I get it. Some people are watching on different devices, and sometimes it's a little tricky. I didn't used to think about that, but yeah, for me on the phone, on the desktop, I go right for the video list, and I click on recent, so it's not by views. In Trison, are you going to watch Black Mirror Season 5 at the end of the month? If it's a new season of Black Mirror, hell yeah. Brian says, if Gimple was still writing it, the season would end at the border scene, but we'd have to wait 6 months to find out who died. Possible. I know he's writing the Rick movies. I don't know if that makes you happy. Gimple works for me, and then he's also made some mistakes. I don't hate him completely for the mistakes, but I do worry a little bit, to be honest, about the movies coming forward with Rick. Because Gimple has, like, when Gimple hits home runs, they're home runs. But when he's off, or maybe it's not him, maybe it's the other writers, like, when it's off, it's off. Like, there was so much dialogue in season 7 and 8 that was just, it's not how people talk. It's just not how people talk. Gimple was part of the creator in that Die 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 comic, and that shit's ridiculous and fun as hell, you know? It's got neat twists and turns and shit, so, like, I don't hate Gimple, or I don't think he's incompetent. I just think when he's not there, or maybe it's not to your liking specifically, it's going to be way off, you know? Troy got hammered. Yes, he did. Ready Wilby says, Ronnie, do you listen to any other rappers than Eminem? If so, who? I listen to Tupac. I don't listen to Eminem currently. I don't know what it is. And I listened to one of his recent songs, and I loved the music video. I fucking loved it, yo. But the song just didn't do it for me. But the music video was bomb ass. It was this chick who crawls out of a grave, and then she goes into the house, and Eminem's the husband or boyfriend or whatever. She starts fucking beating his ass. She stabs him. They go through a window. Then she chokes him, kills him. Then she drags his body into a grave, and then she cuddles up with his body for the end of the video. I fucking loved it. You know, you can pull whatever symbolism you want from it, you know? And that's one thing I love about music videos and symbolism and stylized shit. But the song just, it didn't grip me. There was parts of it that did. But maybe I have to listen to it a few times. But there's just something about his music. He's missing a part of his edge. I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a video on it. Those are projects that I personally, when I think about future content, it's stuff like that. It's stuff like maybe only having 4 or 5 truly polished. Now, we're going to get constant daily content, but like I said, we're mixing them between the channels. But it's picking out ideas like that, like looking at Eminem and his music, and as a fan and someone who's been interested in his music, and seeing what doesn't work and why, and what might have been changes and what's the reason for that. Just break it down. I don't think I'll be doing that video anytime soon, if at all. I don't know. It's something that I would imagine down the line I would do, though. Are the comic breakdown videos coming back? Yeah, those will be the ones with the others coming back. I got to go back and redo the editing. I can either redo it or just wait and pull it off of the hard drive. But I have all my edits on that for the comic cover videos, and I mean all of them. So, but they will be a little different. The main portion will be just me holding out the cover. Not me holding it out, but you'll see it's the physical cover, the comic, because all the ones coming up I pretty much have. 800, what is this? CDC, wait, San Diego Comic-Con? What's 800? I don't know. Megapath presents, do you think freshly turned walkers should move faster like they did in season 1? Yes, to some degree. Not crazy, but to some degree. Hey Ronnie, who inspires you to write the comic? Where did you get your ideas from? Well, again, some of that's tricky. I think a lot of people expect, like, I get my ideas from this or this, and that's a little tricky because I don't. I try to stay away from what everyone else is doing. Like with, let me think about, like, to give you an example. But I could tell you right now, George Romero was this is a weird inspiration, and it sounds like an insult, but I'll be downright honest. I loved the zombie movies when I was growing up, and a lot of them were his, but I hated his characters. I hated them so much to the point where it was unbearable. I just wanted them to get eaten. Loved the zombie shit, but I just hated the characters so much. Like, with a passion. I couldn't stand them. They were bland. They were dull. I do see, when I go back and look, I do see, like, the businessman or this guy and this girl. But, like, for example, Night of the Living Dead, the Barbara girl, there's so much of the story where she's... I just fucking hate that so much. And you don't have to make her a, whamming badass fucking shotgun, bullets and beating ass. No, but at least have her respond. You know what I'm saying? At least have her talk. I hated the characters, and there was a big part of me that said, okay, I love zombies. I hate these characters. So there was a huge inspiration to make something that I wanted to see, Before The Walking Dead, everything was an inspiration that I hated. I hated Resident Evil, and it inspired the movie, and it inspired me to write a better zombie. And again, this is a fan saying they don't make zombie stuff that I want to see, that I love fully. I might love the monsters, I might love the zombies, but I don't like these movies, I don't like these shows, yada, yada, yada. I love the Resident Evil game, but it was too weird with all these different monsters. So I love the zombie aspect, but then it got real weird with, creating these big, bulky monsters, having Wesker go around the screen so fast. I hated all that little shit, but that was my inspiration. It's weird. It's like the shit I hated was my inspiration because I wanted to create something that I, as a fan, would enjoy watching. Wait, I lost my spot. As far as where do I get my ideas from, a lot of the ideas you got to create out of the world. Like, what do you want? A lot of my ideas for the zombies, I got them from what do I want in zombies. Like, there's obviously the different stages you guys have seen reading them. There's a stage of zombie where it's stage 1 where you're like a zombie, but you do have a heartbeat. You are alive, and they do speak, but they only repeat certain words. It's kind of like that last lingering. And again, I'm not going to go into the details. This is just the little things you kind of find out. So that's stage 1. It's kind of like a crazy person, someone who just lost their mind. They're still living, they're still breathing, yada, yada, yada. But you'll see different colorations in the veins and then their eyes. And then you have that zombie that is the classic zombie. That'll be like stage 2, we'll call it. what I look at is, do I want them to run? Do I want them to go slow? And then I pull my ideas from there. Well, why? What makes them do this? So a lot of it has to come in the world you're developing as well, not just simply looking at other material. Ellis Price, have you watched Dexter? I've been bringing it to fill the void. I've been binging it, I think you mean to say. Or is that binging? Binging. How do you spell binging? I guess that's binging. To fill the void of The Walking Dead. I'm currently on season 3. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. I watched all of Dexter back in the day. I used to wake up with Juliet when she was a baby and feed her a bottle at like 3 in the morning to 4 in the morning every friggin' night. 3:30 to 4:30. And I'd watch one episode of Dexter every night. I loved it until the end. Back to real quick ideas for my comic though. I do want to mention one important idea was the lead character, one of the leads. He had to be just an everyday man. That's why he's a bartender. Like, he's not a cop. It's not like Die Hard where he's a cop. It's not like The Walking Dead, for example, he's a cop. It's not like he's a doctor. It's not like he works in the government. Like, this is legit. No bullshit. No strings attached. It's some dude. Just some guy. He's a bartender. You know? That's it. And his friends, even the ensemble cast. One is into MMA. You know, he's into survivalist. He's into conspiracy theories. Another friend had dreams of doing football, but then he fell out of love with it. So he's bartending too, but he's also got this other aspiration to do other shit. So it's just real people. It's not like the cop role or the doctor role or the government SWAT, the army guys. It's not people with these badass backgrounds and shit. It's just normal people. So that is where I got that idea from, because I just wanted a lead who's just a real everyday dude. Is Black Mirror worth watching? Absolutely. Did you like Zombieland? Yes. I watched it recently and loved it a lot more than the first time I watched it. Looking cute, Ronnie. Ah, hello, Meowcat. Meowcat Bissy. Where did you get your screen name from? Like, what? I don't know what. Is that just words you put together, or is that from some type of movie or song or something? Let me know. I don't understand the hate for the lineup cliffhanger. That's what watching TV is for. That's what it was all about back in the day. Who shot JR? Anyone? Well, I don't think any. Again, who shot JR? I believe you're talking from Dallas, right? I hear everyone say that, and that's like before my time. So, and I think right before my time. I think when I was little, maybe I heard of my parents talking about shit like that, but a lot of people bring up that cliffhanger specifically, and that could have worked. That could have been huge for sure, but I disagree that the lineup was a good cliffhanger, because you're in that moment. You build up something that's emotional. You know, this, and again, I would have to see what you're talking about. I'd have to watch it in order to compare it. But they brought you to a point emotionally that they can never recapture. And instead of giving you that climax, so to speak, instead of finishing what they started, they just decided to hold it. Hence, it ruined the momentum that you're never getting again. Keep in mind, most people, when they rewatch episode 7, they're not building that up again. What I felt when I watched season 6, no matter how much, and I love season 7, episode 1 is one of my all-time favorite episodes, hands down. Hands fucking down. What I was feeling, I was watching the episode with my 2 cousins at my uncle's house. We drove there specifically just to watch it together and yada, yada, yada. That moment where I'm on the edge of my seat and what I was feeling in that moment, emotionally and, immersed into the story, there's just for that to stop abruptly, and then that realization that, oh, we're taking a break here at this moment, and then that never coming back and returning, that is a bad cliffhanger. And it hasn't been just The Walking Dead to do that. There's been a couple shows that do bad cliffhangers like that. I think a good example for me of a good cliffhanger is the one in Lost, where they did the trick between the flashbacks and the flash forwards that they never did before until now, and then it was revealed. This big cliffhanger was revealed, and it left you going. It left you with this emotional, like, information where you were like, what? I want to see what comes next in a different way. As far as the Negan and the Death cliffhanger, it was, in my opinion, it was a failed opportunity. Gavin's Ghost says the 91 remake of Night of the Living Dead was great. That's coming up in one of the deeper intos. I know for a fact we're doing the Night of the Living Dead and the remake. I already put them down digitally so I could capture the clips. Slizzle said, do you think the walkers should be stronger since they're slower and more stupid than the living? Yeah, I think they should be stronger. That's why I make them stronger. They bite harder in the comic because it's just... especially with a human, like when a human bites somebody, I'm sure there's some type of subconscious, you're thinking of your own teeth, you're thinking of not going crazy and actually ripping a piece of flesh off of somebody. Even if you're biting to hurt them, there's still that subconscious thing that keeps you from going too crazy. With zombies, they don't have that. Just like in my comic, I make it to where when they bite, it's reckless. That's why you see some of them with jagged teeth. They got teeth with cracks in them. They got pieces of their teeth broken off. Not only does it give it a visual that I find appealing and creepy as hell, zombies with broken and sharpened teeth just from biting recklessly, but also there's nothing there mentally that's going to stop them from going full force with the pressure, especially with grabbing. It should be, and I've worked in a nursing home. For those who work in nursing homes, you get these frail old people, and I don't know what it is. I forget what the explanation is, but there's sometimes where they grab you, and it is like a lock. It's like... There's a couple other things in life that are similar to that, but I view the zombies in a similar fashion where that lock is a lock. I think it's like a baby, or there's some other example of somebody that locks on. I don't know if it's a baby or what, but some of you guys can let me know. Michonne killed the lady in the car. I think that was really dark and barely anyone talks about it. It shows how she isn't a good person anymore, 100%. Well, I was talking about the Michonne in the comic, unless we're talking about different things. But I talked about the part in the car. I was mad about that because they pulled away, and it takes so much. That's why no one talks about it. They pull the camera away, and because we don't see it up close and it's not a personal thing for us visually, it steals some of that impact away, and it's easier to brush it off. But yeah, Michonne executed a prisoner of war, somebody that had... that was zero danger to her at all. You know what I'm saying? That was cold-blooded murder, 100%. Tupac, Dr. Dre, Biggie, Snoop were totally my generation's top rappers. Yeah, that's what I grew up listening to. The Resident Evil movie was okay. The rest were shit. I hated them all. I remember the day I knew I hated them was when I saw the trailer for the first time. And this is how deep my hate goes. I actually remember that experience. I remember it being in my dad's house. I remember the couch, what I was eating. I remember everything because of how mind-numbingly asinine what I saw was. Keep in mind, I'm playing the video game. You hear about the movie, you get so excited, and then you see a trailer where this girl, random chick in this dress, runs up a wall, spins, and kicks a dog, a zombie dog. I remember vividly, my mouth is open, wide open. I'm about to take a bite of pizza, and I'm just sitting there, dumbfounded. I knew, at that moment, I would hate it. Dawn of the Dead was good, though. You know what's funny? If I had to pick one of my favorites, it would probably be... And I find it to be one of the more ridiculous ones, but Land of the Living Dead, I think it is. It's where the zombies start to remember who they were and they do human-like stuff, which I hate that idea so much. Although, somebody who read Doomsday Kingdom is probably thinking, but Ronnie, you have a zombie that uses a knife. And it's like, keep watching, keep reading. We're going to get into the technicalities later on, but... you're kind of right. But again, keep reading. There's technical stuff about the different stages. But yeah, that was one of my favorites simply because the characters, even though a lot of them were thin as hell, they didn't annoy me as much as some of the other characters. Do you want individual walkers to be extremely harder to kill than currently on The Walking Dead? Yes. I'm going to tell a really gross story, and I'm not going to get into any details, maybe later on down the line, but I saw someone in real life stabbed in the head repeatedly, and it is not at all like, and don't tell me it's zombies, they got mushy skulls. That's not the case, especially for the freshly turned people. For example, in real life, someone got stabbed in the skull, and the guy actually had to wiggle the knife and pop it back out of his head and then stab him again. So in real life, I feel if you look at what happens in real life in the human anatomy and all that, I think that aids you so well in telling the zombie story. Like, I see and hear about things and know things in real life, and I say, okay, there's one moment that's seared into my brain. Take that and utilize that into Doomsday Kingdom. There's this moment where guy, girl, I won't spoil it, but they go to stab a zombie and it just slices his head. So they go stab it again because the tip is not piercing the skull and it's just slicing. So its head is just sliced all to shit. It's because skulls are definitely a lot harder than what they are. Like, what? Stay right there. What?
I know. Could I get
Hold on, guys. What about your bathrobe? Why are you that cold? I'll check the heat. It's freezing outside, though, honey. My daughter dresses like it's summer and then wonders why she's freezing. There's no school tomorrow, too, so I'm going to let her stay up a little late tonight. But yeah, what were we talking about? So yeah, for example, you'll see later on when our characters get a little more skilled, there's the two females especially and the one guy. They go out as a group all the time, and they go for the eyes because it's softer, it's easier with the head. You're going to run into a lot of problems where you'll stab them and your knife will get stuck. We see, and it makes it scarier. Imagine you got 4 zombies, right? Imagine it in The Walking Dead. They already established it where it's you just stab them, you're done with it. You get 4 zombies. You can't pick up a street sign like they do in Walking Dead, even though it is cool and I know why they do it. But you can't do it in Doomsday Kingdom where you pick it up and you just jam it in the head and it doesn't, because it's going to hit them and their head's going to go back and they're going to still come at you. So now you got these 4 zombies and one guy goes, and he stabs a zombie in its head and it slices or pokes or, but it doesn't go all the way. So he's got to yank it back. The other zombies are coming and he jams it in right the temple and it goes all the way in and he goes to yank it out. It's not coming out. Another zombie's even closer. And then he's got to either, rip it out, wiggle it out, whatever. By that time, maybe he can't get it out. He falls down. The knife's in the head. Now he's got to utilize something else to fight the zombies. It makes it more tense, I feel. There's more tension. There's more suspense. There's more drama. It's more exciting. I feel if you utilize stuff from real life and have the zombies harder to kill, I find that better. Me as a fan, maybe not better, I shouldn't say, because I'm fine with what they do on The Walking Dead. But if we can rewind time and they could say, hey, fans, tell us what you would like to see, I would be like, can we make the zombies harder to kill? Because it fits the story, it fits perfectly, and it makes it more interesting. Anyway, did you like Zombieland? Yes, I did. Slizzle, do you... sorry, we already read that one. Let me scroll down. Nova said the kicking of the dog was one of the best scenes in the movie, and no, I'm not for cruelty against animals. Alright. Let me see. Put user in timeout. Kick user. I am joking, but I'm glad you enjoyed that scene. I hated it. I just find it so ridiculous. Have you ever been a zombie Christmas movie? Has there ever been a zombie Christmas movie? I'm not sure. I'm sure there's been like Christmas stuff in zombies, but I don't think they've made, I don't think they've made one. I have a part of a short story when I was doing the test stuff. It was like oh my God, this is going back a while ago. I haven't tapped into this in a while. It was like imagine Krampus. Krampus. Obviously, the monster comes and it attacks the town, but in Krampus, there's like this really big blizzard and a family stuck in. Utilize that aspect and it's just a blizzard with a little town, and it's not like the whole town is gone and disappearing, but it's just harder to get around with 2, 3, 4 feet of snow outside. And I modeled this after the blizzard of '98. If you look up, I think it was that. If you look up in Pennsylvania, in the Wilkes-Barre Scranton area, I think there was a blizzard of '98 or a blizzard of '94, '97, something like that. But I remember we jumped off our roof because the snow was like 5 feet. Like, this was a blizzard. We made tunnels in the yard because there was so much snow. Like, it was insane. And I took that idea because the whole area was shut down. You would have people walking or snowboarding or, you know, whatever they can do here and there in little spots because it was so damn big, the snow. Imagine taking that idea, but having a zombie virus outbreak happen then. You're getting around this town with massive amounts of snow. You get into the town area where the more buildings are put together. It has such a neat idea. You get a zombie Santa, some guy dressed up as Santa, you get a zombie. But I know for a fact that little short story, character-wise, was so fucking stupid because I think I wrote it in like junior high, you know? So, because I wrote a bunch of shorts with little different stuff like that, but I don't think we've ever gotten like an official movie. Was it ever explained anywhere in The Walking Dead if it's possible for a walker to fully decay? I think it is. I think it is. We've seen so many that are just, you know, rotting into trees and shit. I think it's definitely possible for them to fully decay. OG Bobby Johnson says, I agree. It always bugs me when they make it seem so easy to penetrate a skull. Who's your most underrated character on The Walking Dead in your opinion? Underrated? I'm going to go with Aaron. The Walking Dead really took a long time before using knives for head 18 miles out with Randall, I think. I'm not sure. Have you seen the movie Warm Bodies? Yeah, that's with the zombie that talks, right? I didn't like that. I know it's not zombies, but I loved Grindhouse. I love that one too. I have that on DVD. We're gonna get a deeper into for the Grindhouse one. You're talking about Planet Terror. I like that. You know, I put it in the zombie movie pile because it's that same kind of idea. Similar, you know, it's more similar to some George Romero stuff like Land of the Dead type shit, but I like it all the same. Tripping the zombies and getting them in the softer parts of the skull makes sense, but stabbing the harder parts like it's nothing is a little confusing. Yeah, that's some things I wish they would tweak on The Walking Dead. But like I said, they've already established it now, so changing it would be weird. So they got to do what they got to do. I would want a large shield with viewing slots with long spikes, spears in the middle of it for my zombie basher. Yeah, that'd be nice, except for if you get some that penetrates and sticks on it and they're stuck on it, you would have to have something with, what would be a good idea? It would have to be like the tapered chrome smooth spikes to just, and you wouldn't want them too long, so something like that would work. Something that could kill them, but also they don't stick on it. Like a spear you might have problems with, depending on the tip. Do you think episode 8 would have been better if they didn't expose that the Whisperers are just human? Because some of us don't follow the comics, so the mystery was a little spoiled. Well, no, I don't think so. I mean, I'm fine with them letting it linger or simmer a little longer. I'm always fine for that, but that's the reveal in the comic. It's the same type of reveal we got, and it still makes them creepy, and there's still creepy stuff coming up for sure. But it's similar in the comics. It could have had a little more padding to it. I agree with that. Less of Henry and more of the padding. Will you ever do Matt Mail or Dumpster Dive videos anymore? Not Dumpster Dive, but Matt Mail, absolutely. We have a bunch coming back. Also, again, the ones off the hard drive. Whenever we get back, we'll do like a look back at all the Matt Mail stuff. But yeah, we're still doing that stuff. Oh, you know what? I have that figure review, and it's posted on the channel, and I never put it to public. I'll have to do that after this. But I got that Rick figure. We looked at all of them. They're sitting over there. I'll have to do that after this. But Dumpster Dive isn't coming back. We might do a video highlighting, discussing dumpster diving, but we're not going back to dumpster diving. I just can't. I can't work it into my schedule. In the Walking Dead game, Clementine would stab the zombies in the eye. That's cool. I like that. Have you played Red Dead Redemption 2? If not, you must. Yeah, I've played it. I'm also a little disappointed they revealed the Whispers too soon. Oh, yeah. I would like to see someone wield a mace, blunt weapons, rule walkers. Yeah, like the Braveheart, where he comes down with the ball and he's like, whack. I love that shit. Favorite non-zombie horror film? Can I pick The Thing? That's body horror. That's my all-time favorite one. Absolutely. The 1984 or something like that, or maybe it's earlier. Kurt Russell's in it. It's called The Thing. It's a remake to the Thing made from the 50s, I think. I love it. I absolutely love it. Mitch, that's a movie I can watch over and over and never get sick of. Mitch Kilgore, Aussie fan here. Don't usually get a chance to catch your live streams due to time differences. Cheers for much of the content. Excuse me. Love these streams after the Walking Dead episode. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Glad you can make it. Do you think Daryl will become a Whisperer? Yeah, I did a video on that a week ago. The Walking Dead... The Walking Dead fan base is... Or, I don't know. Discussing it online is so strange. I did Daryl becoming a Whisperer video, I think like a week and a half ago. It might have been 2 weeks ago. And I think it got a good amount of eyes on it. I think we got like 40K, 30K views, something like that. And it was like the conversation just done. It deaded. And I don't know what happened, but over the last week, man, I don't know, maybe it's because we're starting to really miss The Walking Dead, so now everyone's coming out talking, but I'm getting bombarded with messages asking me about that. And all I have to say is, yes, I did a video on it a long time ago. Check it out. 2 weeks ago, I think. Maybe a week ago. But I still agree with the video and what could happen. Not that I want it to happen. I think something similar could happen. I have a feeling the comics are slow right now because Kirkman is waiting to drop something big for issue 200, just like issue 100. So hopefully we get something to fear type build up. I'm cool with that if they build it up slow. Bowman's World with a $2 dono. You gonna cop Resident Evil 2 remake in January? Hell yeah. We have to cover Resident Evil 2 on this channel. We have to. It looks so awesome, yo. And Christmas is almost done. I got to get for my nephew. And I already got... mother... we're not doing, like, my brother and family. We're not doing adults this year. We're doing just for the kids and stuff. But I got my mother a little something. Anyway. But I got to get my nephew something, and I got to get Juliet's last gift, and then I think I'm done. So then I'm going to obviously look at bills, financing, shit like that, and then in January I want to get one, either maybe an Elgato or fix what's going on with the AverMedia. I had that set up, it was working fine, but since I got a monitor, the new monitor, it won't read the AverMedia. I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. It keeps saying... I forget what it says, but it basically says that something's not right and it's not yada yada yada. The specs are off. I don't know. It's like, wait, what? If I can get that working, I'll just keep it. But if I can't, I'm gonna buy one of those Elgatos. So that way I know for sure we can do the game capture. And we're definitely checking out that, because that right there for me is nostalgia. That looks so good, and they look like they did a really good job with it, man. That looks fun. In the finale, they revealed who the Whisperers really were. Don't you think it would have been best to leave people who didn't know with this creepy thought about talking walkers? As far as would it be best, it could have worked, yeah. Would it be best? I don't know, to be honest. I mean, I think it could have really worked, yeah. I don't know if it would have been best. Shouldn't there be a difference between Whisperer skulls and zombie skulls? In their world, yeah, it seems. Unless they're making it seem like any skull can be penetrated with ease like that. That's just realism for the sake of realism, not for story. I don't know what part you're talking about, though. Let me look See if you said anything else. Yeah, I don't know what part you're saying that for. Howling Wolf. Ronnie, have you watched Diary of the Dead? And if so, what are your thoughts on that movie? I thought a found footage zombie movie could work, but it felt poorly executed. You want to watch a found footage zombie movie, watch Quarantine. That's fine. It's got the girl from Dexter in it, and it's a remake of Wreck. And I haven't seen Wreck. I keep trying to watch Wreck, but I forget what happens. I can't find it out and about anywhere. I can't find it digitally, like to just rent it to watch it or whatever. One day I'm going to get a hold of that. But I watched Quarantine, the remake, and it has its off moments, but I liked it. I did like it. I think I have it on Blu-ray still or DVD. But yeah, Diary of the Dead, I watched it and I couldn't watch it all. I had to fast forward some and I hated it so much. It was so poorly done. Dude Guys with a $2 dono. Thank you very much for the support. Can you check out my latest video? It's 18 minutes though. I'll write that down when I get a little more time. I could probably swing by. Is there any like reason? Like, did you want advice on something, or maybe you had a banging theory? I'll check that down. I'll check that out for you, brother. To Take a Walk With Me said, which one should live longer, Alpha or Beta? For the TV show, I'm going with Alpha. I'm going to have to ask for a change on that. I think it could have been better than what we got in the comic. Travis Dead. Ronnie, do you agree that the scene in The Patriot when Mel Gibson kills the redcoat soldier in the creek in front of his son's the greatest movie scene of all time? No, I disagree with that. I think that's an awesome scene, and I actually do really like that movie a lot. But the greatest movie scene of all time? Not for me. It's a great moment. It really is. I don't want to take that away, but of all movies of all time, no. But it's definitely got some kick to it. It's got that punch in the gut. Amber Gray. Warm Bodies was a zombie comedy love story. It was cheesy, but I liked it. Yeah, that's the one with the girl and the guy, and he got more human or something, right? Yeah, something like that's just not up my alley. Zombieland isn't even really up my alley. I'm not into comedy horrors. I'm not big on them. Evil Dead. Evil Dead, I liked it in the beginning. It gets a little silly, but it was fun. The TV show, it was missing. It was like they came in and said, okay, Evil Dead, it's this way over the top, silly, ridiculous, and they focused more on that than making it, that grounded, gritty horror that went along with it so well. There's still some gross and, but it was missing a little something. Do the Whisperers have a home or a base? No, they have mobile homes. They move around. Yeah, they have homes, but it's nomadic. They move around. And you asked a funny thing. Do they just normal basic people stuff when they are not being nomadic? No, they're not. It's not like they're being nomadic and they stop being nomadic. When you have a tribe that's nomadic or like nomads, that's why they're nomads. They don't stop and be normal. They don't stop and build a home. A nomadic tribe, that's why we call it that, because they're always moving around, unless I have that definition mixed up. But for them, it's the same way. They're always moving. They don't, like with Native Americans, they might move over here depending on weather, the snow coming, whatever. They might move around as they live in different areas. They might settle, but they will always move to some degree. Jordan Leedon. I would have liked to have seen more build-up for the Whisperers. Like I said, I'm all good. I'm all for more build-up. I just can't say that it would be best. I think it would have been good, sure. How can Whisperers go on zombie herds all the time? Don't they have to eat, sleep, rest? Makes no sense. They don't. They stop and rest. Zombies aren't like sharks. They don't have to constantly move. They show that they like in the quarry, they had the zombies stuck there. They just bring the zombies to an area and they stop and they keep them from being distracted. They keep them from going anywhere, and they kind of just sit around and wait. We've seen zombies all throughout the world of The Walking Dead. that will literally sit and rest and just shut down. They just shut down because they're not seeking something. Nothing has their attention. They're not attacking something. Same thing with the whispers. When they stop and sleep for the night, it's not like the zombies, they follow zombies. No, they make the zombies follow them. So if they want to stop and eat, or stop and then have the zombies here and they go and cook meal over here with their tribe, their tent and shit, that's what they do. Ozzy, any early predictions for issue number 200? No. No, not at all. I honestly don't know what the fuck they're doing. The only thing I can think of, to be honest, is either something coming out of the blue or it's getting a little repetitive. We could see something. I don't know. I'll definitely have a video on it, but I don't know, man. I'm not up for these warring leadership things. It's kind of wearing me down a little. Depending on whether Ezekiel gets his comic death, what do you think is next for Carol? I think her connection is going to stay with Henry for, I guess, a while. Rec is so good, I watched it on YouTube. I'm going to look it up. I didn't know it was on YouTube. Excuse me. Go to FYE. They will order it for you. I think you mean Rec, right? I'll have to check it out. I was never really big in FYE, though, because they overcharge. I'm a deal guy, yo. I'll wait on Amazon forever until a deal comes through. But one of these days, I'll get it ordered up. Richard, I hope they do more creative kills in The Walking Dead, like the time Daryl slams the trunk door on the... Yeah, I like stuff like that. Hyper Novak 2.0. Do you think instead of Ezekiel with the big reveal border, it will be dog? No, I think having the dog's head on a stick just looks... Visually, I think it looks so silly. I wouldn't be down for that. Not that it's, oh no, they killed the dog, because I hate that too. Keep in mind. And I know there's probably fans watching right now that signed the petition not to kill the dog. I'm sorry, I hate that. I hate that with a passion. I hate that so much. Why is because how dare we sway their opinion on what emotional scene to give us? When I read I Am Legend, not the movie was ass, but the book. And the book was about vampires, not zombies. It's fucking vampires. But anyway, they burn in the sun. They don't like sun. They set traps. They're smart. They're clever. They're vampires, even in the movie. Anyway, I Am Legend has a scene between him and the dog that emotionally it was a punch in the gut, and it left me. It was probably one of the most memorable death scenes I've ever read in a book, and it was a dog's death scene. For fans to just not like, and I'm a dog lover too, I get it, but the same strength is we watch entertainment not to have what we want served to us. We watch entertainment to feel emotions that we don't have to feel in the real world, because that would be shitty. Dogs dying, loved ones dying, friends being ripped apart. This is escapism for us, that we can live vicariously, be immersed in these worlds and stuff like that. And to force them to not give us a scene that could have been one of the most emotional moments that we've ever experienced in life. That's why I watch and enjoy TV and movies and shit like that, because of the experience. And to imagine if that experience was removed from the book, I'm in such a disagreement with that. It's not even funny. I'm okay with you not wanting the dog to die. Totally okay with you on that. But making a petition and reaching out to them and telling them they shouldn't kill the dog, I'm absolutely against that. 100%. 100 million percent. Where are we at? Jordan Leeden. Have you watched Cloverfield? I've seen it. I liked it. And now I think it's a ton of shit. It's just J.J. Abrams just turned it into shit. All for money, too. Ranch King. Do you believe Avengers 4 will be better than Infinity War? I think it's tough. I think if they do the right story, it absolutely has the potential to be better. However, they're in a very tricky situation. They're in a tight spot. If they had it planned out ahead of time, they're good. But if they wrote themselves into a corner and they do some easy, like, for example, if they wrote themselves into a corner and they're like, oh, how do we get this to work? And they go, time stone, reverse everything. Boo. Or if they say, Captain Marvel, come in here, kick this guy's ass, save the day. Boom. No, there has to be some more stakes than that. So I have faith they'll make it good. Do I think it'll be better than Infinity War? I hope so, but that's tough. Yeah, I thought the trailer was good, but it didn't blow me away. Did you ever do a show on GR's Dawn of the Dead 79, my all-time favorite zombie standalone movie? No, again, in 2019 we'll be doing better or deeper into type videos with all of the classic zombie films, mostly because I do want to break those down. It's been a while since I want to discuss them, and I want to have deep dive discussions on them, and kind of like breakdowns, and I just want to get to it already. So we will be covering a lot of the classics. Are you still rewatching Sons of Anarchy? No, I'm done with that. I already finished the whole season. I did that a while ago. Any news on Last of Us movie? Not that I know of. Do you think Yumiko or Magna could be on the Pike lineup? No, I don't think they should be or could be. Have you seen Suspiria? I know about the old one. The remake, no, I haven't seen it yet. You don't have to watch the whole thing, basically. I'm explaining why I'm no longer reading the Walking Dead comics for the foreseeable future. Hope you don't lose respect. I'm not going to lose respect because someone doesn't read the comic. What, are you kidding me? I honestly thought about that, trying it, doing a test run. But here's the thing is, I would be cool with testing it out and not reading the comic for a year, and then waiting until we get there in the show. So I'm not reading the comic for probably 2 or 3 years, but I'll still buy it because then later I'm going to read it. But then when the show gets to that point in the storyline, see how I feel now that I don't. But honestly, in my position, it wouldn't work. Obviously, we review it every week. People would miss the reviews, but not only that, people would just put it in the comments. So, but I did think about it because I was curious how I would view the show, not knowing the source material anymore. I remember what it was like in the beginning. And I tell you, I'm way more excited now than I was back then, and I don't know, it's because I know what's coming and I'm hyped for it or what. Thoughts on the new teaser for Telltale's The Walking Dead from Skybound? I think they did an incredible job with that teaser. I think they did a fantastic job. That's what they needed to do from the very beginning. They made the poster where they had the poster look just like season 1. Instead of Lee, it was Clementine. But now in the trailer, they show it in the trailer and hype it up that way. And I thought it was great. It was my all-time favorite Telltale The Walking Dead trailer from anything. It was probably the best trailer they've ever done, in my opinion. It made me excited about picking up the final season and playing through it. What's the greatest movie scene of all time? I have no idea. I don't even know if I have a favorite scene of all time. Because I'll say something now, and then I'll forget about, or I'll remember something else that I like way better another time. I'd have to really think about that. Oscars are coming up. What's your personal pick for Best Picture this year? I don't have one. I don't follow the award shows, to be honest. I don't even know what the nominations are. Thoughts on World War Z? I thought it was shit. Good night, Tiffany. Ronnie, did you see that Jordan Peele, the dude that made Get Out, is going to remake Candyman? Thoughts? I'm cool on that. Just want to check PayPal, make sure we didn't get any other comments come in, but I'd be good with that. Candyman's a tricky one. Did you see the zombie movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger called Maggie? It was Trazash. I remember liking parts of that and really wishing it was better than it was. I think the focus on the girl, the daughter, really annoyed the piss out of me. And I don't remember the details, but I remember thinking, there was some serious potential here. Like, for example, when I think it was the daughter and the stepmother, and the daughter was turning into a zombie because she was bitten. And I think this is, for a zombie movie and a fan of zombie material for the longest time, this is something that in the right movie could have re-energized the zombie genre. The kid is bitten, and I think a part of it has to do with how slow you turn when you're bitten in this world. But she's standing there with the stepmom, and they're face to face, real close together, and she's like doing her hair or something, and the kid that's bitten says, "Oh my God, I can't wait to eat dinner. That smells fucking delicious. Like, my God, what are you cooking?" And the mom just stops, the stepmom, and she's just kind of shook, and she's like, I'm not cooking anything. And you realize she's smelling her. She's smelling her flesh, her skin, and she wants to eat it. She's like, fuck, that smells good. I'm starving. That shit was bomb as hell. If the whole movie had subtle shit like that, good shit like that, I think it would have been badass. But I'll have to rewatch it again to remember what parts I really was turned off about. How do the Whisperers redirect the direction of the Walkers? They simply move. That's it. You know, you're going this way. If the Walkers, you got lead Walkers, and they've already established this. This is not stuff that they're just making up now for the Whisperers. They established this in, season 3 or season 4. But when the Walkers begin to follow, that's how they create megahertz. They'll follow the leader, whatever's in front of them. That's how they're not all slamming into each other. They're moving forward. If the walkers in the beginning or the beginning of the herd shift like this, the other walkers keep going. They migrate that way. And when you keep the whispers in the beginning spread out, you can simply just direct them. Doesn't being a whisperer seem so lame? Gotta just walk around the woods all day, boring. I'd be searching for some Ronnie Hayes. Yeah, I'd be searching for some weed too. That does sound pretty boring. But keep in mind, how many degenerates do you think figure, we walk around, don't gotta work. They take it on like a crown, like a mantle. They're these badass monsters of men that run through little groups and tribes and take whatever they want. Even in their own tribe, if they want a woman, they just take it. There's probably so many degenerates that are like, I'm game, fuck. Go Mets 26. I just started watching Dexter, and on episode 6 of the first season. It seems okay so far, but not hooked yet. Is it worth watching? Oh, I loved it. For me, it slows down. And for me, there's a season that I had a problem with, and it gets a bit repetitive with being trained all the time. You'll see that coming up. But it really has some standout moments, and it's worth it, in my opinion, to watch it all. Mad Talk TV says, in my opinion, the Governor is the best villain of the TV series so far. He's far more evil than Negan and a lot scarier. Negan makes you work. The Gov wipes you out. Better in every way. Yeah, looking back on it, the Governor, if he had a little bit of a longer story, he probably would have been a more memorable villain. But he was pretty damn scary. The Governor in the comic, too. They made the TV show Governor a little too weird. Howard Hung. David Morrissey killed it, but they needed to go full psycho with him. I know you enjoyed The Mist, but what do you think about the ending, though? I fucking love the ending. The ending is the bomb. In a depressing, that sucks sort of way, but the fog, the music, the reveal, the revelation of what happened at the end, that moment as the music kicks up and the fog lifts and you get that, it's like home run, way better than whatever ending they had before. If a whisperer has to pee or poop, they just, walk off the herd and go in the woods, I would imagine. Ronnie, have you seen the movie Pandemic? I don't think so. Jordan Leedon says, do you think any of the saviors that left Sanctuary could be a part of the Whisperers, but we never get to see their faces because those people have to be from somewhere? Any of the saviors that left Sanctuary could be a part of the Whisperers? It's possible. I don't think it's going to be a whole cluster of them, but it's possible. This week, Meow Cat Bissy, probably this week. Stephen Smith, do you find the fangirls who like Jason Momoa annoying? Are you going to watch Aquaman? I don't mind the fangirls. They don't bother me. Probably because I'm not in the fandom, so I never see them. But no, I'm not going to watch Aquaman. For me, it doesn't look interesting at all. I will check it out on Redbox sometime, but I'm in no rush. Yo, hey Ronnie, have you seen the trailer for Brightburn? Looks like an evil Superman. It looks pretty interesting. Listen, I seen the trailer for Brightburn, and this is it's movies like that that inspire me to really kick myself in the ass, because I like how they're taking the I think we need superheroes that aren't from comics. Like, I'm writing that little superhero story. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but it's like just something in my spare time when I think about it, called Life Among Them or whatever. That's the working title, just based off The Walking Dead's arc, Life Among Them. I forget if that was it exactly, but they took this idea of the Superman baby going to a farm with a family and being raised by them, and they took that exact idea. Like, that is 100% Superman's origin story, except the whatever his spaceship, it's not like it teaches him to be good and save people. It calls to him, and it's real creepy. If you haven't seen the trailer for Brightburn, check that shit out, man. He's got this kid in a cape. He's got this weird little mask on, and then they do like this little ending that gives you like a little jolt, but that looks good as hell. That's some shit I'm interested in. I will definitely watch that. I hope it's good. I really hope it's good. But like I said, I got this idea for a superhero shit, but I want to make it a lot more gritty, and I got this scene I'm planning out that's more like a horror scene, because imagine a superhero, that's horrifying. That's fucking scary as shit. You got this being that can do whatever they want. I mean, they come into your house, they just break the door, rip the door up, and slowly, like, bend the handle and just walk in. They're, looming down the hallway, not even walking, just slowly floating towards you. Maybe you get this little glint of red electricity or something in the eyes. You can make that badass and terrifying, No, I don't watch the TV show The Strain. I tried it an episode or two. I just couldn't stick with it. Do you think any of... Oh, I already read that one. Let's finish up. We're at our hour and 30 minutes. I don't want to keep Juliet up too late, even though there's no school tomorrow. So, now that Skybound owns the Walking Dead Telltale game, do you think Clementine can appear in the Walking Dead comics? To be honest, that would be a cool reveal in issue 200. I don't know, as far as legality, I don't know how all that works, but I think there's always a possibility for her to enter the comics. I think she can't ever enter the TV show, sure, but the comics, there's always a possibility for her to enter the comics. And I think that would be cool. To be honest, I think Clementine's a character that they shouldn't end with the game. They shouldn't end her character at all. If they want to take her out of the game and give the license to another company like Naughty Dog, for example, to make an actual Clementine story that's more interactive than Telltale's of Clementine, oh my god, imagine how awesome that would be. You could get her origin story with Telltale, and then you can play a more interactive game with whatever company picks it up. I don't think they should end her story. Meowcat Bissy, I got a cram for my finals tomorrow. Wish me luck. I'm wishing you luck. Fuck those finals up. Ronnie, you said that the X scars are probably self-inflicted. I think you're wrong on that. They wouldn't have done that. See, I think they met some bad people. That's probably why Michonne is so mean now. I'd be fine with that if they met bad people, but you gotta answer me this. And I know it seems ridiculous that they would cut themselves. I'm finding a hard time trying to wrap my head that they would just sit there and cut each other. But think about this logically. What would, even as writers, even if they do this, what would be the purpose of branding somebody with an X cut or burn on the lower back? What would be the point of that? I just don't see the point of that. A brand is to identify somebody. Why would you put it there? If you're going to brand someone, either the shoulder, the forearm, the arm, the wrist, the forehead, and then what does that brand mean? But I do agree. It's definitely possible, and it's definitely looking like something had to have happened. Sure. I have a hard time seeing it being self-inflicted. At the same time, I can't see why in the world another group would brand them. I can't see, So if I had to just pick one, I'm going with self-inflicted. Just because unless somebody has something that helps me see what that branding even, how that would even make sense, from a writing perspective. Like, what does it do? Is it just to hurt them? Then they could cut them anywhere. Why do they both need the X in the same spot, If they were putting them on the same spot for everybody, that means there's a system and there's a uniform purpose for that, meaning to identify them. as being conquered. So the X would have to be somewhere visible at all times. It would be on their cheek or their forehead or their wrist or their palm, the back of the hand, something like that. The Mist was well done. I haven't watched the remake of it, but I've seen the clips and it seems scary. Ronnie, do you enjoy Stephen King story-based movies? Not normally. I think they fuck up the movies, but I do like Stephen King and his stories. As far as the Mist TV show, I think that was just god-awful. The movie I love. The TV show, oh my god. Would you like to see Tara executed in the season 9 finale? I'm cool with that. And Maggie coming back during season 10 to help during the Whispers? Yeah, I'm cool with all that. Howling Wolf, Ronnie, I remember watching the zombie movie Here Alone on Netflix and enjoyed it because of how personal it felt. The main character felt real. I think I watched that one. Is that the one with her face is covered in mud in the profile clip? I think I watched that one. All right. All right, we're going to wrap this up, but I want to make sure I get a nice question or two to end on. And I do want to have... Wait, here we go. Lori said, I don't believe the X are self-inflicted either. Angela Kang said the X scars and the conflict tension between Hilltop and Alexandria are related. Well, see, now that's a gold mine. I've never heard that. I need the link for that. Like, I need that. That is video worthy. I haven't had any videos pop up on my recommended. Usually if something's on and popping, I'll get it from recommended from people that just randomly, like, they just start, I'm going to make a Walking Dead video today. Like, just people, you'll never find their videos otherwise. And it's constantly, Walking Dead's constantly popping up. That right there is like, we don't even need to debate. If she said they're connected, then there's no reason. Like, I need that link, bro. I need that, Lori, I need that article. I need that proof. And then I can make a video on it and we could stop guessing, because that right there is the proof. You know, I need that. I'll have to Google that. If you don't know which article, maybe if you know Entertainment Weekly or what interview, I can hunt that down a little easier. Do you think Negan could be the #1 lead character in The Walking Dead? Honestly, I don't know. I find that hard to believe. Remember when everyone thought the wolves were the Whisperers? No. I remember when everyone thought Enid was a spy for the wolves. Do you think anyone else has the X scars example, Carol? I think Carol has it right now. I do. Would you like to see a mini outbreak at the Commonwealth? Yeah, I want to see how they deal with it, with people turning. Least favorite The Walking Dead TV show character, even though I like Emily Kinney, hated her character. Yeah, Beth is probably my least favorite too. Y'all ever see the City of the Dead? Pretty atmospheric. There's so many of them. I'm forgetting. I'll have to look it up, but maybe. Is Cargo good? It's worth a watch. I think the short is better. If you don't have the time, just watch the short. The Cargo's... That's another one I would like to try to break down, because I watched it again and something was off when I first watched it. And I won't go into spoilers, but the ending in the short, it was powerful. It was like, oh, such a neat little idea. And then in the show, it kind of felt like, that's so fucking silly and ridiculous. Did we need that added on? Did we? I mean, was it just like 1 was good, but 2 is better? I get what they were going, though. They were giving us a definitive ending with family and shit like that, but when I rewatched it, I just found some of it a bit ridiculous. Even visually, it looks silly. Are we talking about Lori? Question. Not Lori in the show. Lori in the comment section said there was an article where they confirmed it. Here's something I just thought of. Maybe the X's are to mark them in case they go missing, like Rick. Logic being, maybe they were thinking, what if we found parts of Rick already dead and didn't know it? That would be rough, because if they're finding parts, then they're going to have to mark everything. Now, what if they got blown up and the arm was the only thing that wasn't singed, you know? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, please do that, Lori. Send that to me, because like I said, no one messaged me about it. No, I've never seen anyone post about it. No one's talked about it. For her to confirm that the X is officially tied into what happened, unless it was, like, obviously if it was, you know, going through that shit with Rick and yada yada yada, then yeah, but I still can't see Rick thing fitting into what she said about at least they're alive. That doesn't make any sense. Do you think Morgan will go into clear mode if he thinks Rick is dead? No, I think Morgan's character is done. We can't keep dragging Morgan through that, or else he's just going to be repetitive and boring. Characters got to grow, they got to change, they got to develop, and for him to constantly be going back to clear, it's just not good writing. Do you think The Walking Dead will end after season 10, or do you think a whole new story will be made? Listen, based on their contracts, they're not. The Walking Dead isn't ending at all. It might change the platform, it might change the style, but The Walking Dead is not going anywhere at all. They got the movies planned. They've already done contracts where the actors are getting paid whether they make the movies or not, or the show or not. Bro, it's coming. You know, The Walking Dead is here. They might switch it up. You know, they might make a change in the programming, but The Walking Dead, in some way, shape, or form, we're getting it. Whether it's one episode or 16, whether it's movies or a TV show, whether it's, you know, this separate The Walking Dead versus Fear the Walking Dead, or we start just getting The Walking Dead branded, you know, one-offs and spin-offs and movies and yada, yada, yada. The whole idea is to just have something you watch that airs on AMC Premiere or the AMC channel. It doesn't have to be a TV show. It doesn't have to be a movie. It doesn't have to be a one-off. As long as they make something to keep us buying it every month, I think that's the direction they want to go with that. Because it doesn't make any sense to have a long-term something that's connected to your cable account. That just doesn't make any sense. I don't have AMC Premiere, and it's because, and again, that might be my biased opinion, it's because I'm not buying something I got to connect to my cable account. If you want me to have it separate and it's its own thing, I'll take that all day. As long as you got content, you know? Joshua Jose. Yeah, we got the personal stories and stuff coming in 2019. I had a bunch of stuff popping up, different videos here and there, and I talked about different stuff, but 2019 has been the goal for months now for any personal stuff. I skipped yours again. Let me look for Jersey Devil before we leave. It better be a good one, bro. It better be a good one. And it better be a comment, too, because if... Wait, Jersey Devil, right here. Jersey Devil, how do you feel about not getting an eyeball licking? Oh, I skipped that because I already talked about that. I think it fits better in the... I think it sucks we're not getting it, you know? But I already went in depth last time about that. I don't want to keep repeating myself. But, yeah, it sucks that we're not getting that. Because Lydia and Henry, that connection, you know, her in that environment and then Henry being clean cut and raised well, it just doesn't seem to fit the way they did it in the comic. So it's going to be remixed extremely different, I feel. What would it take to get a Last of Us Netflix miniseries you mentioned earlier this year? What would it take? I think it would take whoever owns, I think it's Neil Druckmann or whatever, if he's, you know, owns The Last of Us. I think it would take some sort of story that he was confident about. I mean, 100% just loved it. I think it would take that, first off. The Last of Us, luckily, The Last of Us, that doesn't look like a product they're trying to make money off of at all. It seems like The Last of Us, they really care about the characters and the story 100%, where they're not rushing anything. And I do appreciate that, absolutely. At the same time, it's like, make figures and collectibles and merchandise. People want merchandise, and they're just not making it, you know? As far as a TV show or a movie, I'm in no rush, because I want it done right. So I'm in no rush at all. Ronnie, can you imagine a third Walking Dead universe show by AMC? What would it look like and what story would be told? Well, we're getting one. It's not a third universe. I get what you mean. It would be AMC's universe. It'd be the TV universe. It would be the third one, but we got it. It's already confirmed. We have The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead. You have all those mini series. I mean, all of them count. That's all separate stuff that kind of ties in, but it's separate. And then you have Rick's movies. Those are separate. And in the same strength, they're just like Fear the Walking Dead. It's connected with Morgan and the main show. The Passage miniseries, the miniseries of the origin of the Bicycle Girl. We have so many already. That's what I tried saying before. It's not, I know we look at it as like this different thing, but it's not. Everything that's The Walking Dead on AMC, it's just like everything they've already done before. Back in seasons 1 and 2, keep in mind. Or at the end of season 1. They did the Bicycle Girl. I think they did that in season 2 as like a celebration thing. The Walking Dead is coming back. Check out the webisode or web-series. They've done it since the beginning, so it's no different. The only thing now is it's getting a bit, bigger. More fans are into it and shit like that. Ronnie, do you have a horror movie from your childhood that scared the shit out of you? Mine was Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Not really. I had like horror moments that were scary, like the clown and It, shit like that. What else would we like? Clown and It. I was spooked out a little bit by Freddy Krueger, just in a weird kind of way. Jason didn't scare me at all, not even at all. Candyman freaked me out. I watched that when I was real young. That freaked me out a bit. I didn't even understand what made me scared about it. I don't know what Jumper the movie is, but yeah, we got to shut this down though. I would love to burn through these comments, but I don't know what Jumper movie is. Thank you very much for coming out. This would be these are tricky to do. Joshua Jose said, how do you start creating scenes that are horror themed or create a script from scratch with horror themes? I think the trickiest thing to do is trying to sit down to think how you would write them. You already know. Just live your life. The next time something scares you, or imagine you're in a situation that scares you, think about why that scares you. You know what I mean? Add that. Add the lights or something's out there, or the sound effects. I mean, pull from real life. I think real life is the best stuff absolutely ever. Like, for example, I was working in it was a production company that was on the hill of a city. So you had the city, you had these winding hills, and you had these factories, right? And we were the last factory to shut down. And then you got to drive all the way down the winding hill to get to the city, but you had this little, like, maybe houses spread it out. So it was pretty much like you were in the middle of nowhere, but you're still on top of the city. And then in the factory part of it, it was the stocking area where they made all the production, and then they put all the stock. And you had this massive, you need a fork truck to pick all the stock out. It's huge, right? Big warehouse, and all the lights were motion sensor. And I remember one time we were shutting down. There was like me and two other guys. The one guy was in the parking lot shutting things down. The other guy was in the back office, and I was finishing paperwork. And I remember a light coming on in the top right corner, and then it was as if someone walked in, just started walking in the back, And then they walk a little bit, they walk more, and it was heading towards the left, then heading towards the right, as if they were coming to me. And keep in mind, it's big too, so the lights keep coming on. Click, 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 click. And then I started thinking, after it stopped, out of nowhere, in the middle of just nothing, I remember thinking, like, wait a minute, is that, what's his name? He's cleaning the front. Would he go? No, he can't go around to the back door because there's an alarm on it. But it had to have been something. These lights don't ever just randomly come on, especially like in that path. And then the boss comes out, and then the light goes out because those lights will turn on with motion, and they'll slowly go out once nothing moves for a while. So after it makes that trail, the lights start slowly going out. And then the one guy comes out of the office, and I'm like, well, bro, is that homeboy? Because there's lights coming on. What's that shit about? Some shit like that was freaky, creepy as hell, because it could be anything. So you just look at shit that scares you in real life and pull from that. I don't know why I started talking about that, but that was something that was like scary as shit, you know? At the time, it was real creepy. But just think of real life ideas that would freak you out and then add it to stories like that. Try to visualize it sometimes. Yeah, try to visualize. It's an online article from Cinema Blend. I'm going to look that up. But thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming out again this weekend. Sorry, this one was just a free-for-all Q&A, basically, because I had a lot of personal stuff going on the end of this week. But next week, we're going to slowly get back into the kick of things. Chris Rambo, it's shutting down, and he's like, am I late? Yeah, we got to shut it down now. No, hells no. Last question. Chris Rambo asked if, since I didn't like Rick talking to Sasha, should he have talked to Jenner? I feel like you're pulling my leg. Why would he talk to Jenner? I mean, no. God, no. Him talking to Glenn, I think. Someone posted up a picture of Sasha standing up and Rick turning to her versus Glenn and Rick turning to him. And I like the Glenn one so much better. And I really felt like it should have been Glenn. But maybe he turned it down because he didn't want to come on the show. But anyway, thank you very much for coming out. Thank you so much for everyone with the support, all the super chats. I hope I got the super chats, all of them, the Patreon, and everyone who's had patience with me, especially with the content, and then saving some content for 2019 because I really didn't want to kick something off a couple months before 2019 and then go into a new year when I know we're starting other stuff fresh. So, 2019 is really where I was holding back on some content. So we should have some really cool stuff coming up. And I'm going to go kick my daughter's ass. Sitting there screaming, Dad, she can't just come over here. Kids, man, kids. Look at his predator face. Look at this. Look at that. My God, is that gorgeous. My God. You and me, one day, I'm going to review that life-sized head. You see that? One day. All right, guys, thanks for coming out, and I'll see you next Sunday around 10:30-ish, 10:45 Eastern Standard Time. I'll try to make sure next week we have some topics to discuss if we don't have anything free-for-all going on. All right, have a good night. Love you.